Inflation. It's like those old car commercials. Price down. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what we.
There.
Yeah, it's like inflation is everywhere, and it is at all-time highs. And yet, George, what's interesting about this is that we're also in a season of life in America where incomes are up, but because inflation is so high, in some cases it's a net, meaning you're not getting ahead. You got some current news and data on this.
Yes, so we're going to do a series helping you guys out with what we call your four walls. So this is food, utilities, housing, and transportation.
Yeah.
Those are the big ones that people are worried about right now. So we're going to start with food today, give you guys some quick tips. Now, these aren't, life-changing hacks that are going to save you hundreds of dollars, but it can help to avoid you feeling that pinch every time you go to the grocery store.
All right.
So let's jump in here. We did a state of personal finance study, and we found that groceries have jumped about 8%, which tracks with inflation here.
Wow.
And the average cost of monthly groceries for one person went from $223 to $410. And for a family of four, it shoots up to $863. Now, a lot of you are going, oh, my gosh, that's it? Or, oh, my gosh, that much?
You know what that data doesn't cover? The Coleman household, where I have 2 teenage boys. That's like 3 extra people.
That's true.
The amount of groceries I got to spend.
Those boys can eat. I've seen them.
1 pack of bacon, gone.
Ooh.
Gone in one morning.
Well, that
Gone.
brings me to my first tip here, Ken. We got to shop at the cheapest grocery stores.
There
now,
it is.
A lot of people, they have their grocery store, and you can't get Ken Coleman away from Publix. Everyone's got their grocery store.
I'm a Kroger guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wouldn't take you for a Kroger guy.
Really?
Shopping's a pleasure at Publix. I know you're a man of leisure and pleasure.
That's a tagline. I'm all about convenience, and there's one in the neighborhood.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense.
There
well, Aldi is one of the best grocery stores. This is not sponsored, but they just happen to have great prices.
My parents shop exclusively at Aldi. They carry on about how they save money. They're retired.
They get it. It's simple. It's no frills. You got to pay for a bag. You got to put a quarter in the cart. I mean, they're making sure that they're able to give you those low prices in different ways. So Aldi, I love Trader Joe's for their prices. Walmart can be great. Costco can be great if you do it right. Now, Costco can be a danger zone when you get 4 things and it costs you $9,000 because you tried the rice pilaf sample and just had to have a 4-pound bag.
Well, who doesn't need a 6-pack of Polish kielbasa?
That's
you know
true.
what I mean? You can't just buy 1 pack.
I'm here for that.
Yeah.
So choosing a cheaper grocery store for right now, you don't have to go to Whole Foods. We can go to Aldi and get the same thing. Just might not be the name brand. Go generic. Go with the store brand. You'll be okay.
I'm a big generic brand guy.
Number 2, I want you to look for foods that give you more bang for your buck. So we talk a lot about beans and rice here. Never has it been more true. Beans and rice, rice and beans. It's one of the cheapest staple foods, and it's filling.
Yeah, let me tell you something. Bow tie pasta. I'm giving real-life Coleman house hacks as you go along. Bow tie pasta, you could buy 6 boxes for $1.46. It's unbelievable.
Right. Get those carbs. Rice, pastas, those are cheap. Get some sauce.
Yeah, pasta's cheap.
And buying your meat in bulk, as meat is getting expensive here.
Yeah.
So there's one right there. Number 3, actually, cut out the wants and only buy the items you need. This means no frivolous chocolate chip cookies are getting thrown in the cart, Ken.
Oh, it's tough.
What is the actual food that is going to sustain our family?
I really like ice cream, and I can make a case that it sustains my mental health.
Well, we're going store brand, and we're going to get the full gallon to save on cost per ounce.
Well, I'm all about the gallon of ice cream.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's your hack, Ken. So make sure that you're talking with your spouse, if you've got one, about the grocery budget and looking for ways that we can cut things out and making sure nothing frivolous gets added to that list. Now, lastly, Ken, this is one that you probably don't do, but cashback apps.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means.
I'm a fan. So there's apps they're called Ibotta, Fetch Rewards. There's one called Checkout 51, Receipt Hog, and what you do.
Receipt Hog.
Yes.
If I was going to be into one, that would be the one that I would
just
be into.
based on the name.
Just so I could tell my friends on the phone. Yeah, I got this new app, Receipt Hog. That's fun to say.
I don't know who your friends are, but I hope they enjoy that.
Oh, you actually do.
So they're simple. You upload your receipt, and you'll get cash back for certain items you buy.
Really?
And they tell you,
what about my ice cream? I get cash back on my ice cream?
On certain brands. Now, here's the catch. I don't want you to buy the name brand ice cream that's $2 more to save $1 when you could have got the generic brand. So still shop wisely.
You're stepping on my toes.
Only shop what's in your budget. But it could help you get some money back. If you spend $80, you might get $5-10 back. That helps. Every little bit goes a long way. So remember actual paper coupons. Remember these, Ken? I clipped these on Sundays with my dad growing up.
Oh, yeah.
Big fan of the paper coupon. A lot of them have gone digital now.
Yeah.
But all of these take an extra step. It takes a little bit more research. It takes a little bit more patience and diligence to make sure that before you impulsively walk through the grocery store and then get mad that prices are high, you go in with a list, you go in with a budget, You go in with a plan, and you go in willing to make some sacrifices in order to save some money.
Is there a rule of thumb, George, on how much a person could save? Let's say you've got let's say you're going to go spend $200 as your budget, or $300 at the grocery store. How much of that could you save?
Ooh. I'm going to go if you can shave
with
off.
With paper or digital coupons.
I think if you can shave off 5 or 10% of each purchase, I'm calling that a win.
So I've seen these stories like where people get their entire thing for free. That's not real.
Well, you can do that, but you're not going to be able to survive off of that because you can't drink Tide detergent.
Well, you
know
can.
What I mean?
It's just not good for you.
The kids are doing it
these
days.
The kids are
apparently.
doing all kinds of stupid stuff.
So, you know what I mean, though? You're not going to – you can't do that with
So 10%,
rice.
5 to 10% is a realistic. And so all of a sudden, I mean –
which is the amount of inflation we're seeing.
Yeah.
So it combats that. If you can save 8% and inflation's 8%, it's net zero.
Yeah.
So there's some quick tips for you all. I know there's no easy hack. I wish I could give you some amazing news, but it really just takes some diligence, some sacrifice, and some research in order to get through these strange times when we're seeing groceries up 8%. But also, let's not get crazy. It's 8%. So if it was, $1, now it's $1.08. We're not talking $3, $4, $5 more for that same thing. And this goes with eating out too.
See, now, George, this is why you are a Ramsey personality, a thought leader, and you're winning this space. Because you just
Basic math?
Well, because here's the deal. You make a very good point on the 8%, and you put it in real dollars and cents, all right? People freak out because that's all we get fed are negative headlines, right? The sky is not falling.
No.
Because I hear the stories too. And I'm like, well, I mean, and again, I'm not making a joke. I have 2 athlete boys in my house that are 16 and 13. My 16-year-old's a man-child. I mean, I eat a side of beef
He's
in 2 days.
twice my size, and I'm a grown man.
Yeah, I need to get Longhorns in the backyard. That's the kind of rate of which we are going through protein. I'm serious.
Yeah.
So we've seen our bill jump. But at the same time, it's not like the end of the world. A little bit of discipline, a little bit of budgeting, and you can make your way through this.
Yeah, well, our plan works in good times and bad. And so times of inflation, you go, all right, we have margin on our budget because that's how we live our lives. We live on less than we make. We have an emergency fund. We don't have debt. And therefore, all of that money can go towards helping us survive inflation. And so that's what I want to remind people is follow these steps, do this plan because it works. And, I was just talking to my neighbor yesterday, and we were complaining about gas prices.
Of course.
I just got an electric car, and so therefore I don't need to worry about that.
Oh, boy,
but here's what she
go.
said, Ken. She said, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm grateful because I can actually afford it. It's not fun, but I can afford it. And that level of contentment, that's something that we need to have as a society and go, hey, listen, I'm not going to be bankrupted by grocery prices.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people out there who are really, really hurting, and I have a lot of empathy for those people. But for most Americans, this is just man, that stinks. Yeah. Gas is $100 to fill up instead of $50.
Yeah, same deal. We get back to the
Readjust
budgeting
the budget
that we talk about. When you know where your money's going, and budget is a plan that tells your money where to go, then you can weather this stuff.